Welcome to another episode of WellteQ Talks. My name's Scott Montgomery. I am the CEO of WellteQ, and today, being World Mental Health Day, we're here to talk about Anji of Hidden Lava, the founder and transformational coach. So welcome, Anji.
Thank you for having me.
Anji, you've got an interesting story, and I think it's very topical for World Mental Health Day today, because you've been at the end of the corporate spectrum where it almost physically break you, and now you're on the other side.
Yes.
So can you just talk to us about your exposure to mental health and how the work demands have got you to that point?
Sure. Well, I can certainly say that I have got the t-shirt. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I worked in a career for many years within media,
Yep.
and it was really enjoyable. It was a chosen career for me. I loved it.
Yep.
But there was a real pace.
Yeah.
There was a real pressure that I felt when I was doing that role.
HR role too, focus on talent?
Yeah, it was talent focused.
Yep.
So I was working in media across 26 different markets,
Okay.
locations across Europe and Africa.
Okay.
I was the only person that did what I did.
Okay.
Working across that scale
Yeah.
of organisation, being the only person
Yeah.
in that role with all of the demands coming to you because you are the go-to person. I really felt the pressure of it.
Yeah. And that got to a point where it became too much.
Yeah, it did. I mean, I felt like I was trying to be this graceful swan on the surface, just gliding through, but underneath I was just paddling like mad, and I could feel myself just going on a downward spiral. There was something internally with the way I was thinking, the mindset that I was in, that I was really feeling was not good for me. That it wasn't sustainable. If I were to continue doing what I was doing, it was going to break me.
Okay. And you almost did get to that point, having a forced couple of months away from the workforce.
Yes.
And then sort of had your aha moment. And what have you now focused your efforts on to feel better and to be in a better space?
Yes. So I found mindfulness.
Yep.
Mindfulness was the simple answer to all of this for me.
And what is that?
Mindfulness is just the ability to be present.
Okay.
That's all it is. We hear the word mindfulness.
Yeah.
People are very curious about it.
Yeah.
And so they think that it's some kind of buzzword, but it's a very ancient practice.
Yeah.
And we're going back thousands of years that this was something that they very much embedded as a way of being.
Okay.
There was something about the ancient civilizations that their life was just a lot more simpler than what we have now.
They kind of had it right in a lot of respects, didn't they?
Yes, they focused on the right things.
Yeah.
And then somewhere along the line, practices like mindfulness kind of got buried underneath the complexity of life, and now they're starting to resurface.
Sure. And we've got because of all of this sort of hustle and bustle of life, we've got more mental health challenges and therefore presence and prevalence of illnesses around there. And so how does mindfulness help us prevent that or keep those illnesses away?
Yes. Well, I guess it's a bit like if you want to keep your body in trim, you would go to the gym and eat well. That we know. But we don't know how to do that with our mind. So we need to consciously take some kind of control and have some self-control over how we are thinking and what we're doing with our mental well-being.
Sure.
And the purpose of being present, so what it does, what it enables you to do, is that you can switch off and step away from all of that overthinking, all of that anxiety, all of that worry that starts to build up and set us off on some kind of roller coaster ride that we feel like we can't get away from.
Sure.
But you can easily shift your focus and attention to something else, which is happening now, which arguably is the only thing that is happening, and you can ground yourself in that moment. And that in itself allows you to calm down. It allows you to step away from all of that disruptive thoughts and emotions and just connect to what is happening now so you can think clearer.
So put it, just one thing we can all take away from here to help us today, right now, is just to be present.
Yes.
So what's the tip that you would give us to go away and try just for 30 seconds? How would we do that?
Yes. Well, look, there's plenty of things that we do on an everyday basis that we can apply mindfulness to. We all eat. We all have conversations. We all commute in some capacity. And I would encourage that people try and apply mindfulness when they're doing everyday activities by purely focusing on what they're doing at that point in time.
So getting rid of any other thought in your mind, it's just focusing on what you're doing, where you are.
Yes, and just start to notice what that what that does.
Yeah.
How does it feel? What are you noticing?
Yeah.
If you're having your lunch and you're by yourself,
Yeah.
don't just for a moment switch off the thinking about what you've got to do at work
Yeah.
when you finish your lunch break.
Yeah.
And just be with what you're doing.
Okay.
See what happens.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Simple yet powerful.
It's very simple. There's nothing complicated about mindfulness.
Okay.
It is our lives that are complicated.
Totally right. Totally right. Thank you, Angie, and thank you for tuning in for a special edition of WellteQ Talks this World Mental Health Day today.